Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. As always, honored to be here with you now. How are you doing? I hope you had a great week. I hope that you are feeling good from the inside out. It's so important to have that sense of fullness of yourself, who you are, what you stand for, what makes you you, and to feel good about it. And I can tell you for a fact that we don't always feel that way. Sometimes we do. It can be momentary. Sometimes it can be wavering. And I had a wonderful afternoon yesterday that inspired me to make today's message of be a good friend. And it was somewhat of a surprise. I had to drive from where I stay in the summer back into town. And I ended up having a new friend, a woman I've known for a long time, but we haven't been super close, just circumstance. And she ended up riding back with me, which made it a much, much more pleasant trip because I wasn't driving by myself. Now, I will say, just on that point, sometimes the solitude of being by yourself is fantastic. So I like that too, but it was really nice to have a companion. And our lives are very similar in lots of ways, being wives, mothers, business people. Our children are around the same age. And we just had a lovely time connecting. And it was so nice and special that I wanted to share something about it with you, because I think sometimes we don't cherish those moments as much as we might. Sometimes it can feel happenstance. Oh, I ended up spending time with so-and-so, and it was really nice. Oh, wow, I didn't realize how special it can be to just carve out a little bit of time and be together with someone. Be a good listener, be a good participant in a conversation, feeling like there's a real repartee going on, feeling heard and appreciated and understood, which can happen when you have similarities. It can also happen when you don't. But in this case, it was just really lovely. And to feel a sense of trust, that, okay, you can let your guard down a little bit. It's okay to share details that you might normally leave out. You may not know this because I say so many things here, but I'm a pretty private person. And so I don't normally share so many things about whatever may be going on in my world. And in this case, I really felt comfortable just engaging, just talking. And it was lovely. And so I wanted to say to you, if you find yourself in a situation where you can be in the company of someone you respect, someone you feel can listen and that you can listen to, and you feel that there's some benefit to the conversation, because if not, it doesn't work so well, then go for it. Be a good friend, be a good listener, be a good communicator, be a good participant in the relationship, because it can be incredibly beneficial. And I say that also from the perspective of, even no matter who you are, it is likely that there are times when you feel alone, when you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, when you feel like, when you feel alone, when you feel like you're disconnected. And I have listened to those conversations more often than is comfortable, anyhow, of people who feel isolated. You never know what's going on in another person's world, but sometimes people can feel so isolated, so disconnected from whatever makes them happy, whatever brings them joy. And of course, what I have learned is the number one way to resolve that is to reconnect to the divine, reconnect to your understanding of the divine, to your connection to God. Absolutely. Sometimes the conduit for that can be a friend. Sometimes a human being can help you find your way back to that peace and tranquility and groundedness that helps you to be strong and capable no matter what's going on. And I have talked to quite a few people of all different age groups who have found themselves in moments where there's a desperation, there's a sense of complete disconnection, and where they don't know where to go, and they don't feel they have anywhere to go. And I believe that one thing that we can do is to show up for our loved ones when they are in spaces like that, and be a good friend. Be a good listener. Pay attention. Notice when your loved ones are in need. If you haven't heard from somebody in a while, and there's normally a rhythm to hearing from them, check in. If you talk to someone and something seems off about the communication, doesn't quite seem right, push a little bit and see if there's a way for you to connect more deeply with that person, to see if there may be a lifeline that you can offer. Because literally sometimes it can be a lifeline. There's a woman I know who recently passed away, and we have not learned yet the cause of death. But a woman who was very, very close to her shared with me that this particular person had felt isolated for a long time, that she described herself as being really lonely. And she had friends. She was estranged from her daughter, which I can't even imagine what that would be like. But she was retired. Many of the people in her world are busy with work, with taking care of children and grandchildren and whatever other responsibilities they have. And she wasn't connected to her family. And she had reached out to a couple of people who were important to her, who had the intention of reaching back, like on the weekend, or, oh, she called me, I'm about to be in town where she lives, so I'm going to go see her. They hadn't communicated that to her, but they had that thought. She's gone now. And there is the thought that it may have been at her own hand. We don't know. I don't know, I should say. But even that is a thought, those who had the thought are feeling guilty, or I should have called her back. Just to be fair, these are people who were in very close touch with her. So we can't control people's fate for sure. But what they were saying to me was just in retrospect, what does it mean to be a good friend when someone is really in need, when someone literally needs a lifeline in order to stay here on the planet? And how can we be supportive without feeling like, we can't really control other people's lives, or even, I do think sometimes we can help change the course of people's lives through love. But I'm not trying to put that burden on us to try to save people's lives so much as it is to be present. How can we be present in the best possible way for people that we love? How can we show up in a loving, trusting, honorable, solid way that is beneficial to us and others? How can we be a good friend? So let's take a look. Oprah Winfrey has a really simple but great quote that I'd love for us to take a look at. She says, "The best gift anyone can give, I believe, is the gift of sharing themselves." Think about that. Listen to it again. The best gift anyone can give, I believe, is the gift of sharing themselves. Now, I really want you to sit with that because, we are in a culture that loves gift giving. We love thinking about the people we care about and selecting something that we think they will treasure, saving our money and or splurging to get just something that shows people, oh, I care about you, I love you. Oprah is saying, sure, those things are great. I don't think she's saying you shouldn't give gifts. She's a great gift giver. But giving of yourself, sharing yourself, is the most precious gift. I sat with that for a bit after I found this quote to just say, what people need is the embrace of humanity, right? It's the true connection, that heart-to-heart connection that you can have with people you know and love, and you can also have people you don't know. Sometimes we give of ourselves in the moment to strangers, and that gift, that momentary connection matters for both of us tremendously. Because if you're sharing, truly sharing from your heart, even if it's for a blink, you feel it. It matters. And it makes other people realize that they are being seen, that you see them. And in turn, hopefully, they see you too, because when it is reciprocal, it's so beautiful, right? When you see someone and they see you back, what happens? When you see the beauty in someone and you call it out, they smile. When you see the potential in someone and you speak to that, it gives them confidence. I say that because that, by the way, is not what a lot of people do. Think about if you have not succeeded at something, or if someone else has not succeeded, has not done well, has failed a class, has lost a job, has hurt someone's feelings, has done something in a relationship that was not appreciated. If the person learning about this experience says, well, you knew better than that. It's your own fault. It's the placing blame, rubbing it in, uh, highlighting the worst of a situation often is not helpful. Now, there are times when it is important to note this happened. How can you do better next time so that it doesn't happen again? So, do you even know what you did so that you don't repeat it? Sometimes it is important, the debrief, like what happens in work environments. Sometimes they call it the post-mortem. When you review whatever happened in a situation, constructively, that can be really good to do because it helps you to evaluate whatever happened. So I'm not suggesting that you just say everything is peaches and cream if it's not. Absolutely not. I am saying there's a way to address the negative, the things that didn't go well, that aren't going well, in a frame that creates space for growth, that creates space for empathy, that creates space for forgiveness, and that is not so critical that there's no room for that. I think that's what can come with sharing yourself in a loving way, even sharing criticism, that it's possible to do that in a loving way. It's possible to call out whatever has happened that is not good in a loving way. And when you do that, you create space for growth. You create space for healing. You create space for relationships to continue and to mend if they need to mend. It's a powerful realization, I believe, when you understand that you don't have to shy away from whatever the truth is, even if it's a hard truth to recognize. You can still be a good friend and share information that may be sensitive to receive. You can be honest and forthcoming in a way that still is an embrace. And when you do that, the moment gets a little bit lighter. You have the opportunity to have joy, even in a bad moment. And that I've shared many times on this broadcast something that I think I is good to share right now. There's something that I learned. I think it's from the poet Saint Rumi. R-U-M-I. It's called the Four Gateways of Speech, and I learned this many years ago. And whenever I follow it, I benefit as well as all the people around me. So the idea is before you say anything, the thought that you have in your mind, you should run it through these four questions that are considered the four gateways of speech. You ask yourself, is it true? Is it true? Are you saying something, but is it true? And how do you know? What makes it true? Is it true? Is it necessary? In this moment, at this time, what you're about to share, is this the right moment? Is it necessary? Right moment is a different question. Is it necessary for now? The right moment, is it timely? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it timely? Is this the right time? It may be absolutely true. It may be very important to share, but is this moment the right moment, or should you pick a different moment? When can a person receive the message in the most effective way? And the fourth question, is it kind? That's the big one. It can be true, necessary, timely, but is it kind? How are you saying this thing? Can you deliver it in a way where it can be received as being kind? That is so hard to do, especially if you're upset. If you have any emotion around whatever it is that you are trying to share with someone, that fourth one, is it kind, can go out the window. I mean, I've heard myself say, I don't want to be kind. That person doesn't deserve to receive my kindness. I have said this myself. I, you know, I want to make sure that person understands how upset I am. I I don't want to be kind because this person doesn't deserve my kindness. I have gone through it. So if I've gone through it, I bet you have too. But if I really work on it before saying whatever the thing is to whoever I am trying to deliver this message, before I do it, if I run it through the ringer of the four gateways of speech, is it true? How do you know it's true? Is it necessary? Like, it's okay, some things are true, but is this necessary to share at all? Or can it just go? Is it timely? Is this the right moment? Is it? Is it kind? And again, my team will tell you, I have wrestled with, I didn't say it in this way, but I have wrestled with the is it kind a lot recently because I was hot about something. And I felt completely justified in how hot I was about it. And honestly, I was justified in how hot I felt about it, or I still feel I was justified. But the good news, this kind of wraps up all the things we're talking about today. Two things. The good news, I know better. I know when I'm feeling hot, don't say anything. Do your best to just shut your mouth, take a breath. Don't lash out. If you are feeling like you want to lash out, that's the time to be quiet. And don't say it to the person that you are feeling this way about. And also don't talk about people. In my case, in this case, I have the blessing of having my team. And I was able to talk to them and they worked with me and talked me off the ledge. And I could let it go. I had to let it go. I let it go because it wasn't my reaction, whether justified or not, was not kind. And it would not have benefited anyone. And I didn't do it. So the other part of me sharing that with you now is to say, to be a good friend, I'm going to say in this case, that's what my team did for me. They talked to me in ways that I could hear. They were kind. They listened and then provided feedback that was helpful and had patience when I wasn't hearing it. It is so important for you to have a sounding board in your life. It's really great if you have more than one. But what I'm telling you, so many of us have made the mistake of spouting off something, feeling absolutely justified, and having it backfire in their face forever, for a long period of time. If you can, shut your mouth, take a breath, take a walk, take a run, take a swim, do something to just calm yourself down without lashing out, you're going to thank yourself later. If you have someone you can talk to, someone you can trust, who it's okay for you to do the download and they're not going to repeat it, they're not going to spread gossip, thank God for that, right? It is so incredibly important to have a safe space to unload sometimes. And I see there are a few folks here who've written in: Sherry, Laura, and Crystal. So Crystal, I don't know whether you were on at the beginning of this broadcast, but I spoke about you and me and just the fact that we were so blessed to share that car ride yesterday and to really be able to be sister friends and talk and share and support each other. And I really do think that's a blessing. And I opened up saying that with this message today of be a good friend, you never know when you need that. You never know. Sometimes a person comes into your life for a moment and it's so the right moment, and whatever you needed in that moment, boom, there it is. I believe that's how God works, by the way, through us, through putting us in each other's lives and giving us moments that can be healing moments, that can be truly supportive moments. And I'm looking, okay, so Charlie, hey, Charlie Lewis. And oh, Selena, I see my folks are here in the house. Oh, Charlie says take at least a 20-minute walk. As we get old, we need that space. Boy, don't you know it? Well, we need to be walking anyway. But yes, moving your body can help to give you physical and emotional relief. And also, I mean, just right now, when I'm seeing some of the people who are writing in are people I've known for a long time, some are people I've known for a short time, it is truly a blessing to have people in your life who have your back, people who look out for you, people, and they don't have to be people you talk to all the time. It could just be, wow, this moment, in this moment, you need something, and there it is. Let's see, somebody wrote, I'm sitting with this. I was not kind this weekend to my niece who is struggling with health issues because she wants to give her parents a big, expensive party. I let her have it. I regret that. And what? I don't see the second half, so I guess it's coming. So thank you for pointing out regret. Because that's the 4 gateways of speech where you're talking about you said something and maybe it was not kind or maybe not the best timing. The thing about regret is you can go back and apologize. You can go back to her and say, look, I know what you wanted to do. What you want to do is so kind and thoughtful. Maybe there's a way you can do it that doesn't cost as much money. Maybe there's something you can do for them that shows your love and appreciation and may be a wiser choice based upon your circumstances. Or maybe you're going to do it anyway, but I'm sorry that I was not kind when I was talking to you. I didn't mean to come off that way. Apologies, you guys. There are people in my life who never apologize for anything. And that is very hurtful. But because I pay attention, I know it. I know who they are. I know what to expect. And I have myself a bit on guard because I know that that is how they are. I want to say to you, one of the most misunderstood and things that just in communication life is to express regret. We, of course, but when I ask people, when I interview people, one of the projects I work on, one of the questions is always, do you have any regrets? It's part of the interview schedule. And I can't tell you, so many people say no. I want to say I don't believe them. I believe that maybe they don't like that word. Sometimes when people say they don't have regrets, they then follow it up by saying, well, I've learned from my mistakes. Okay, that's fine. But you don't have anything that you said or did that you wish you hadn't said or done? I don't believe that. I think all of us say things that can be hurtful when we don't mean it. Sometimes we say them and we do mean it. But after the fact, we often have the thought, I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I hadn't done that. I don't feel good about that. So I want to say to you, part of being a good friend, part of being a good person, if you find yourself in a situation like that, where you have said or done something that was not kind, apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm sorry that I did not have control over myself and I said or did whatever it was. And if I hurt you, I'm sorry. And by the way, you have to mean it and be better, do better next time. Because a hollow apology, you say you're sorry, but you keep doing the same thing, means nothing. It's just an insult. But if you mean it and you say it and you follow up with your actions, it can be a salve. And so, as we close out today's session, I just want to invite you to be a good friend to yourself, be kind to yourself, to others. Read the moment. Sometimes you'll have a moment and you don't even know what's going to come of it, like this beautiful drive that my friend Crystal and I had yesterday. We needed that moment. We love that moment. We'll always remember it. And, it wasn't planned, but it was perfect. Create perfect moments like that for yourself. Have your eyes open. Notice when it's time for you to connect with someone, and then make yourself available to do it and treasure it. And by the way, you don't need to talk about it. You just need to have the experience. Whatever happened within a connection that you may have had is nobody's business. But the gratitude, the love, the support that can happen when you are a good friend to someone and they are to you is a blessing. And I hope that you understand that, hope you see that. And as Oprah said, the greatest gift you can give is sharing of yourself. Remember, do it mindfully. You don't share with everyone, but when you do share, make it count. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all the people who've been writing in. I appreciate you. And I just want you to hold on to this message. Be a good friend. Until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.